Hi everyone, and welcome to December's online class and in-home class as well this month. My God, Christmas is getting close. Well, today I'm going to start off with our gift card holder. So you can either make it in DSP or your cardstock covered in DSP. So it's you just slip it out, and as you open it, this comes up, and you just slip your gift card in with that. You just stick it on with a bit of tape, and it just comes in and it'll pull up nicely like so. And I'll just show you this one, and it just comes up as well. I just felt with the cardstock it was a little bit firmer, but you can make as many more of these as you like once you get going. So I'm just going to put them aside. In your kits, you will have 2 of these, so you're making 2 of the same project. So you'll have your cardstock, you'll have your DSPs. Some of you will have these cut, and others will have to cut their own. If it's an in-class one, you will be cutting your own. I'm using the red because I've run out of silver. But you will have silver in yours of some description. So I am using the Peaceful Deer, and it has a punch that goes with it. So you have the Peaceful Deer stamp set and the punch as well. And we're going to do a bit of heat embossing and stamping. None of these projects are hard, so you'll have fun making them. I'll just put those aside. So first off, we'll bring in our trimmer, and we're going to, I'll just make a bit of room here. We're going to score. It's a bit overcast outside, so my room's a little bit darker than normal. I'm just going to put them aside. So like always, you will get your PDF that you can print out as well. So our cardstock's 3.5 by 11, and we're going to score. I'll just check that I have cut that right, because yes, I have. And then we're going to score at 2.25 and 7.5. So 2.25, making sure we don't use our cutting blade. Bring up our scoring blade and just score, and 7.5. And score again. So that's pretty simple. Just put that aside. Bring in your bone folder, and all we're going to do is burnish. So you've got your top flap and your bottom that's coming up like so. So now totally up to you. I've got this corner rounder punch, or it's got 3 different ones if you like, but I'm just going to round my corners just so you've got this neat little corner, and I'm just doing that to the top flap. So you've got like so. Now we're going to bring in our other bits. Up to you which way you want your DSP. You can put it this way and this way, or vice versa, or you can do it all the same way. I'm going to do it this way. I'm also going to round these corners on the little bit of DSP as well. All these are personal preference ideas. You don't have to do it if you don't wish. Can't pick it up. So those will go like so. Now this little piece of white I have to bring back in our scorer, and I'm going to score along this edge. So I've got the 3.5 inch edge up the top. I'm going to put it at 1/2 inch. So here's your inch, 1/2 inch. And I'm just going to score. Just fold that over. And that's going to be our little mechanism that fits in here, and when this pulls up it will just stick on here, and as you lift it will pull up. I'll show you that a little bit closer once we get there. We'll just get all our bits done. They're all ready to go ahead. So we might just do our stamping on our little circle. So our circles that we're using are the layered circles. This is a really great set if you don't have them and you're interested in some dies. I use these a lot, so it's, no, mustn't be that one. It's the number 4. It just fits around and cuts out. That one and this one, I've used that for another one, is number 3. So if you're looking for it, it's number 3 and number 4 dies. When I got mine, I've just done tiny little numbers. It just makes it easier for when you're looking for your framelits to cut. So that's your layered circle ones. I'll just put them aside. Oops, missed a pack. And now I'm going to bring in my stamps. We're using Mossy Meadow here. Get these out of the way. I better see what I've stamped. Very basic here. And I need our sentiments. So our sentiment, our Christmas tree, and our little stars. So with the Christmas tree, there's no right or wrong. It's just, so I'm just going to stamp full, then stamp again, stamp to the side. I'm not going to press as hard, and then a lighter one down the bottom. So you can stamp however you like. This is just a very simple way of stamping to get some trees on. I'm going to do my sentiment. I'm just using Memento Black. Just make sure it's inked up. Sending love and peace this season. Put those aside. Now we're just going to do a little bit of heat embossing. Now I'm going to bring in my embossing powder. So I'm going to use the little starry ones. So Stampin' Up don't have the heat embossing buddy anymore, but we're doing a push to Stampin' Up to bring it back because I just find it so much better for static. So just put that on there. We're using our Versamark ink, which is a clear sticky ink that actually sticks the embossing powder to it. So I'm just going to stamp randomly around here. I can't really see, but hopefully I get enough on there. It's a few little bits, and we'll bring our silver. I'm using silver. You can use whatever you've got at home. Need to be able to pick it up. Oh, fingers. Just tap off the excess and you can see where that all is there. I'm just going to pause the video for a minute and I'm going to set up the heat tool. Okay, sorry girls, I was back. I had to unplug a light to be able to do it. So you're going to, if you haven't got a heat tool, you can do it over your toaster or something, but these are very good value for money, your heat tools. So you're just going to put it on and let it melt. Just going to bring it up here so you can see the embossing powder melt. I haven't got it on real high because I don't want to burn my fingers. It's just starting to melt now. And that's how cute. You can see it glittering there. That's our heat embossing. Okay, I'll just put that out of the way so I don't knock it over. Put that. So we're just going to get rid of the excess. Adhere our circle. I'm using Tombow. You use whatever you like. It will be a little bit slippery on your silver foil, so we'll need to give it a minute to stick. I like to stick that on there while it's sticking, and we'll bring our base back in. So all we're going to do now is dress it up. Put our DSP onto our front. I'm just going to do this one, just the reverse side. All yours will be all different. I've just tried to give you a little bit of all the different DSPs in the same pack. Goes here. Now what we're going to do is, you can use either your tear and tape or your Tombow, but all we need is a very, very small, doesn't want to come out, edge down here. If you think you can't get a real fine edge, it's all right to cut our little white bit a little bit narrower. So I'm just going to stick that on here and give that time to stick. And while that's sticking, I'll just get our sentiment out. I forgot to get it out. Merry Christmas. And I'll just change this one out here. So where we're going to put Merry Christmas, I'll flatten this out, is just under our score line. So I'm just going to try and get my head over this and get it straight. There we go. So when we stick it, we've got our Merry Christmas here. So we're going to bring this in, and we're just going to put a bit of glue or tear and tape or whatever you like to. So we're just going to stick it here. So you can either put it in there and stick it down. I found that I'll cheat. Just give it a little bit of a curl, because then I can just put it up here. And I know I'm not going to get it on that score line. Just up to that score line. Give it a little time to dry, because we've got to stick it down into this little pocket here that we've created with joining our sides. So we're just going to put it in there like so. So it will go down, and when you open it up, it opens up. So this is where you're going to stick your gift card. So just do a bit of tear and tape on the back of your gift card, and it'll just slide in here. So now we're going to thread our ribbon through under here. And then I have just closed that and tied a knot on the front. That way it's just a little bit neater on the inside than just wrapping it around. Oh, blunt scissors. I need to get my good ones out. So that's that little bit. Your ribbon's nice and neat under here. Now it's where we're going to put. This just holds it down. So with the paper it bends a lot easier, so you can just bend it and put it on. But with the cardstock it's a little bit firmer. So you just need to decide where to put it, and if you find it a little bit difficult to go in, just break up your fibres a little bit by using your bone folder. So we just get some dimensionals and just putting it on the bottom half. I probably should have used a bit bigger dimensionals than my mini ones. I'll just take all them off. Okay, so we just need to catch the top part of it. So that just slips in under there like so. Lift it up and down we go. So how's that for a cute little gift card holder? If you like, you can actually put some whisper white on the back and do a writing as well. But you know, it's fine like that. And you will have your envelope to put your gift card in to send to somebody if that's what you want as well. And just decorate your envelope. We'll decorate that because you need to decorate your envelopes. Just going to use the trees just with the stamping off. And there's your first little project. Okay, I'll be back in a minute, girls. Okay, ladies, welcome back to card number 2. So this one is, we're doing a little bit of weaving here, and we've got some cutouts from our whimsical set, and I'm still using the Merry Christmas in the Peaceful Dear. So our whimsical set of dies, there's lots of lovely little dies here that you can decorate, and you cut out Christmas trees. You've got different Christmas trees, stars and decorations. That's in the mini as well. And sorry, I will be also using just this smudgy stamp here, and it's Dress to Impress. But any stamp set that you've got that you want to use this, a lot of you might have seen this gold gilding before. So I'm flying by the seat of my pants here because I did a card swap with quite a few different Stampin' Up demonstrators, and this is where I got this idea. She sent this card to me, so I haven't actually made it yet, so I will be making it with you as we go. So a couple of times I'll probably pause the video because I'll run over to the Big Shot and then I'll come back, because you all know how to run that through the Big Shot machine. Okay, so we'll get started. So what I've told you in your instructions is, and what I have cut is a 1/2 inch for these. But I just find, I think you should make a, I might have changed it on the instructions before I sent it out, but 3/8 of an inch I think is better. This is 1/2 inch, and to me it's just a little bit wide and a little bit bulky. So I just thought I would show you that. So everyone will have different coloured paper again. So I was just thinking, if any of you's got this whiter one and you wanted to show it out a little bit more, you could actually sponge on the edge of here with, say, red or green or something that might pop it. but I'll just go ahead and use the white and see what it looks like. Then you can make your choice. So what you need is five strips of each different colourway, so 10 strips altogether. We're going to be using the thick Whisper White, so you do really need to score it to fold it in half, and then you will have a front piece of your basic white and an insert as well, and you'll have your cardstock in your thing to cut out whatever trees that you have if you don't have this whimsical set. Okay, so I'll bring in my scoring tool to score in half. So it's 8 1/4 by 8 1/4 by 5 3/4. So I'm just going to score it at 4 1/8. So that's just scoring your card in. Because it's so thick, you really do need to score it to get a nice straight edge. You just use your bone folder to make it nice and sharp. So now we'll use one for the insert and one for the front. So we're going to do a little bit of work on our front piece to start off with. Now with this gold gilding, yeah, get the card, it's better. This gold gilding here, I'll bring this in. These gorgeous little bits of gold, flaky. So you can use your tear and tape and lay it down on your card and pull off, and then this sticks beautifully to it. So that's one way of using it, but that just gives you a straight line. But if you use heat and stick embossing powder, you can use your stamps and get these different little so I'm just going to use this one. Where's another block here? Just going to use this one here. Might just give it a clean. So I need my Versamark ink once again, because it's just like embossing normally. But with our heat and stick powder, when you heat it, it is actually sticky. So that's when you're going to put our piece of paper into your gold gilding. You could do very similar with your gold embossing powder, but it's just not as bright, and it will stick to that. So I'm going to ink up here. And I just want it to come down here a bit. And I reckon I might do it up this way a bit as well. So I hope I don't mess this up, because this is the first time I've done this card as well. Going to bring this in. Put our heat and stick on here. So you can see it's just white. Not sure whether you can see that. Put that aside. Now I'm going to heat this. Not sure whether you can see it melting. And then I'm quickly going to stick it into the gold. So you can see how it's stuck on here. And then you just rub with a sponge or something. A shallower, bigger container, it would be better. So there you just get your nice little goldy gold gilding. So I'm just going to pause you now and run it through a embossing folder, and I'll be back and show you which one it is. Okay ladies, I'm back. Now I've just run this through the embossing folder so you can just see that very subtle background. And the embossing folder I used, it's a 3D one, it's Tasteful Textures, so you can just see that it's a very subtle background, but just gives it a little bit of a lift. I'll put that aside. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm not sure whether any of you will have this little puffer tool. This is a very old tool from Stampin' Up, and we use our Stampin' Right markers, but if you haven't, that's no big deal at all. What you're going to do is get your little aqua painter or brush, squeeze your ink pads together and get some water, and all you're going to do is put your aqua painter into the water and just tap off. You're going to tap so you can get this little sprinkly texture around the outside. So either way, it doesn't matter. I've just got this one and thought maybe I won't get as much mess around. So if you have got one of these, drag it out of the cupboard because you won't have used it for a long time. This is sort of my sort of stamping. I like this sort of vintage stamping, so I do use mine a bit. And if you have, all you're going to do is spritz. It takes a little bit for the ink to come. So that, and I hope my pen isn't dry. Might be dry. Move it down a fraction. I have to do it the old way and get a bit of splattering. I haven't used these for a little while. I'll have to re-ink it. Just 1 second, I might be going back to the old way. Now I did eventually get some, I just pushed a lot more, but I'm just going to show you this way as well. So get your, now I've busted my ink pad, and squeeze your thing together. I've got enough ink there just to show you, and put lots of water in here, lots and lots of water, so it's a bit juicy, and then we're just going to tap. So you can see it going everywhere now. And it'll determine, like if you don't want as big as dots, just don't make it quite as runny. But that's what I'm saying. With your aqua painter and your re-inker or just your ink pad, you can do the same as well with the pad. I'll fix that soon. Put that aside. But if you have got this and a good Stampin' Right marker that's actually got some ink in it, you can use the puffer tool as well. So that just gives you a little bit extra for your background. So you've got your gold gilding, you've got your embossing, and you've got your splatters to make it a little bit vintage. So now we're going to start with our weaving. I'm just going to get my silicone mat out and bring in your pieces. So we need 5 of each. 5 red, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got a couple of extras, and there's no great way to do this. All I did was start off with 1 of each. And I'm just going to bit of glue to start off with. I'll just give that time to set. Then a bit on top. But don't make them the same level. You'll be able to cut bits and pieces off as well. To go on this one this time, to go under. Back in class doing weaving. Didn't we do this in primary school sometime? And one under there. Just bring it apart a little bit. And you just want to give that time to stick a bit. So then all I'm going to do is thread these. I don't sort of want to wait too long. It's a bit boring for you to sit there and wait too long. We'll just weave these through. Just bring that up. Then back the other way. Then you just fiddle around to push them as close as you think you want them. And the last one. So without those being sponged on the side, the white, it's still shining out quite well. So with the last ones, I'm just going to add a bit of glue here to hold them. And then we can just, with our scissors, decide what ones we want cut where. Or wrong. And we'll just do a couple of these. Maybe that one. I don't want to stick to my mat. Just give it a little bit of time to dry. Bring in our card. And then we can glue a lot of these down here. And this is a great way to use up lots of scraps. You could use different colours. You don't have to use the same two colours, but you could use different colours if you like as well. So just put that in the middle, and then you can see the gold bit shining through. Just glue that down. I'm going to bring in our trees. And we will need some little dimensionals. I'm just going to stick up a couple, and then I'm going to stick one flat as well. Okay, so the first one, bit of glue, going to stick him here. Peel off those backs. This is a gorgeous little die set, this one, the little whimsical trees. Okay, that's starting to look okay. We've got our rhinestones here somewhere in all this mess. I'll move this aside so I can find them. Our rhinestones. So all these products that I'm using are in the Christmas mini. It's fast coming to an end. Wherever you want to put them. Put that aside. So now our last little bit we've got to do is our sentiment. And we're just going to heat emboss that in gold as well. That gives us, here is just to match our gold gilding. So you'll get a piece thin scrap in your kit. You'll probably have that much to get a couple. You can just stamp with your Versamark. Bring in. So if you don't have a tray like this, that's fine. You just get a piece of A4 cardstock and put a crease down the centre and use the same idea. So you just put your gold embossing powder. I missed a little bit there. Cover up your Versamark because you don't want to dry it out when you bring your heat tool in. So we'll bring our heat tool back in. Bring it up a bit closer so you can see it change. Just starting now. Okay, I'll hold that up closer for you. Sorry, out of the picture. You can see that glittery gold. Heat embossing is lovely for Christmas cards. And I'm actually just going to cut with my scissors, but normally I would use my trimmer. I just think it needs to be a bit thinner. That's personal preference, you can do what you like. Just going to bring back some dimensionals. Need it on that. Here so you can see. And one in the centre. So we'll take them off. Better put it up the right way will help. And we'll just put it across here. Bring in our card base. So you can either put it up with dimensionals or with the glue. I feel when you do embossing that it's probably enough height and enough dimension for your background when you've got when it's embossed. So that's your gorgeous little card. Now don't forget to do your envelope. I haven't got an envelope here, but don't forget to do your insert and your envelope. So I'm just going to get this back again, and this time I'm going to use the bit bigger trees here. Still using the same Mossy Meadow green when I find it. There it is. Just inking up. And I'll just do a couple more down the side. You can do more in your card if you like, just so long as you put something on the inside and the envelope. Bit of glue. Okay. So that's our second card. I'll bring in the original. The original's probably a little bit nicer than mine. It just depends. So great couple of techniques with your gold gilding. You've got your splotches, your embossing, your weaving and your heat embossing. So you've got lots of ideas all in the one card. Very happy with that. So just be aware, you know, before you start in your kit, they are a 1/2 inch wide, but I just feel they need to be cut down to 3/8. It's just a little bit thinner and it doesn't look as bulky. It's up to you whether you want to do that, but I just think it looks a little bit nicer. Okay, ladies, be back with the next one.